Hey guys, happy Herner Happy Hour. Thursday around a little after 8 a.m. Eastern. So today I have a question from Matt that I'm going to talk about. Matt, I will tag you, I forgot to, about the differences, which by the way was a really good question. The differences between, hey Kimberly, between working at a box gym. Hey Matt, there you are. Good, this is your question. Differences between working at like a box gym or kind of a traditional gym and working at a boutique cycling studio. So there are going to be, I want to disclaim this ahead of time, hey Diana, by saying that it is always going to depend at the end of the day on the management team that is running your studio. So they get to decide a lot of these things. So I'm not talking like black and white. This is what it's like at a studio. This is what it's like as at a gym. I will tell you my experience, what I've seen both from working and from doing a lot of consulting work in the industry, what things look like for an instructor. So I'm going to start with, like I said, management. When you are at a studio, it tends to be smaller. It's focused on, maybe one modality, maybe two. Yeah, Matt, I'm excited too. So it might be a little bit more focused, which means, let me describe it this way. If it is just an indoor cycling studio and that is the only modality that studio focuses on, you're probably going to have some really good training, some really good coworkers to help you get better, some good management who are all about cycling and nothing else. So you will learn a ton, you will be thrown in, and you will be probably given a lot of material and resources, and also have higher expectations in terms of what you're expected to do when you teach. In a gym, what I found when I taught at a box gym is you have a lot more flexibility. So you're able to create your own rides from start to finish. There's no necessarily template or structure that you have to follow, which at a boutique studio there often is. So there's often, we call it a sequence. You might have like a 12 song or a 10 song sequence that you have to follow that will dictate which RPMs each song will be, which sounds very restrictive, but once you get used to it, it's actually a blessing to be able to plan that way, which is why I help people create their own kind of templates and sequences so that you can use that for class. It definitely helps in the planning process, but that's neither here nor there. So boutique studios often have a specific sequence or a specific structure to class that they want you to follow. So it's a little bit more restrictive in that sense. At a gym, you might be able to do pretty much whatever you want. There might be a couple limitations, but for the most part, it's up to you. So that's good and bad, right? Because then, oh, sorry guys, my arm's getting tired. That's good and bad because it leaves you the flexibility to create the class that you want, but it also is a lot of pressure when you're trying to plan classes because you literally have to start from a blank slate every time. So that's one of the biggest differences in terms of how studios manage how their instructors teach, is in the sequences in the actual class profile and the design. In a gym, you'll have more flexibility. Now, I'd love to know, for anyone that works at a box gym, if any of them dictate how you have to teach in terms of a sequence. Let me know. I've never seen that before, but I'd be curious to know if that's the case. So that would be one of the limitations, right? So you wouldn't have necessarily the training and the guidance in terms of structure that you would have at a boutique studio. In addition to that, boutique studios tend to focus a lot more on the experience of the ride. So they're going to invest more in the lighting and the sound and all of those pieces just because they can, right? They have the one room, maybe they do cycling and one other thing. So they're focused so much on the experience. Whereas the box gyms I've seen, they usually have, decent equipment, decent bikes, but they're not going to have all the flashing lights and all the fancy stuff that a studio might have, which is why you tend to pay more for the premium experience of a studio, right? Because again, it's an experience. It's not just the ride. So it is a lot more when you're working in a studio, you have to focus on all the other things, not just the ride, which is again a pro and a con, right? I can't just go into class with my plan for my ride because I also need to think about how I'm going to use the rest of the room, how I'm going to create an experience out of it, not just a ride. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me just check these comments. Hey, Darcy. big box gyms I used to work for many moons ago, we used to use their music. Oh, interesting, Diana. Okay, so did they provide like a library of music and you had to just choose from it? But that was only one experience. I'm curious. Let me know the answer to that when you get there. I have seen that often where a studio and a gym might have like a library of songs you can choose from. The reason for that, though, is they don't want to pay for the licensing fee for all of the music. So there's a couple different licenses you have to pay for if you want to basically use whatever music you want. So sometimes gyms don't pay for that and they only use like the free music, and that the license-free music. So that's the reason for that a lot of times. But that was yeah. So okay, so other differences. So management is going to be very different. Training is going to be very different. The experience for the rider is going to be very different. The logistics around it. So they might, yeah, that makes sense, Diana. The actual sign up and process of a studio is a little bit more intimate from what I've seen. Usually, people walk in, front desk person checks them in, and the instructor gets to kind of guide them through the studio because it's just, a small little, it's more of a community feel because everyone who's coming is coming just for that class. So it does build kind of a stronger community around the gym and the people in it because everyone there is there for the same reason. You definitely can build that in a box gym once you get into, the spin room, but it's a little bit of a different feel in terms of the sign up, the logistics, and the process of getting into class. I'm trying to think of Matt, if you have any more specific questions that you want to talk about in terms of the differences, really guys, it's different, but I think both experiences are very valuable. So if you're someone who's only ever worked in a box gym, I would try to go check out a studio, even if you're not trying to get a job there, just to see what it's all about and understand, the differences in the actual process of getting in there, taking the class, what it's like. Likewise, if you've only ever worked at a studio, go take a class at a gym and see, how it feels. They're all going to be different. I'm in Boston, right? And there are like 1 billion indoor cycling studios here, and we're not like any of them. We are all very unique and different in the way that we offer our services. So it's important to recognize that whether you work at a box gym or a studio, no matter what, it's not going to be, one way or the other. It's always going to depend on the management, the studio, the people that work there, the people that come there. It's very specific to that. So I wouldn't ever throw something into a box and say that that's what it's going to look like. It's very unique. Matt, from my experience, who tends to pay more, a studio or a big box gym? Oh, to instructors? Definitely studios, in my experience, because you have that added element of they have to follow a certain sequence, they have to provide the experience, understand the lighting, all of that stuff. Now, if you have a really high-end luxury box gym, they're probably going to pay more too. It really, think about the price that the studio or the gym is charging customers. If that's higher, you can probably expect they're going to want a higher level experience for those people, which means they're going to pay you more, if that makes sense. Diana, both experiences are valuable and both have their pros and cons. Boutiques were more expensive, but as an instructor, I can't see the rest. Darn it. I agree with here we go. I literally came in and we had people to check members in, get them set up, and even provided towels and water. I walked in and went right to my bike and taught. I think that's boutiques, right? That's what it sounds like. So, you have that full experience with the client. Like they come in, they see you, you check them in, you get them set up, versus just seeing them when they come into the spin room at a box gym. So it's a little different in that sense too. So Matt, any other questions? So we had how much pays more, which I just answered. I talked a lot about training and management, and again, these are all going to be different. But if you have any other specific questions, Matt, that's a good way of thinking of it. I know LA Fitness tends to pay very low. Their memberships are around 40. Hang on, I can't see. Yeah, Matt, I think I can't see the rest of your comment. this is being annoying, but in general, boutiques will pay you more. And they tend to have a tiering scale. So I don't think many box gyms do that because it's hard to keep track of how many riders come to class unless they have signups. But in general, boutiques will pay you based on a tier. So if say I have 30 bikes, if I get 15 people or more in class, I'll make an extra $10. If I get a full room, maybe it's an extra 20, something like that. That's aggressive. It'd probably be more like 5 or something like that. But depending on the studio, you're incentivized to get more people in the room. And if you do that as an instructor, if people want to see you, you get paid more. So it is good in that sense too, because there's more kind of merit-based incentives. I am going to have to go in a second because I have class at 9. But if anyone else has any more follow-up questions, post them now. I'll try to answer. This was a good discussion. Great question, Matt. I'm glad that you asked this. And remember, guys, I'm taking questions for her happy hour again. So if you have anything, post them in the comments or post them on the group. I'll grab them for next week. I think I only have one in the lineup right now. So if you ask one, I'll definitely get to it either next week or the week after. Not seeing any other comments. Sorry if it's delayed. If you guys did post anything and I don't see it, I'll come back and check it out. And I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks, Matt. All right, have a great day, everybody, and a great rest of your week. I'll talk to you soon.